Tens of thousands of people in the Philippines have hunkered down as Typhoon Rai barrels through the country. It slammed into the southern island of Siargao this afternoon with winds of nearly 200 kilometers per hour. Authorities have warned of major damage along with flooding and landslides.
Tens of thousands of people have been forced to flee their homes as they prepare for the strongest storm to hit the Philippines this year. In some areas, floodwaters are already chest deep. More than 90,000 people have sought emergency shelter, including domestic tourists visiting Siargao's popular beach and diving spots. Several cities and provinces have suspended work and classes. Flights have been cancelled and dozens of ports are temporarily closed, stranding thousands of seafarers. The Red Cross has warned that the typhoon could hit coastal communities like a freight train. It says climate change is making typhoons like Rai more ferocious and more unpredictable. Rai is tracking towards the central and southern regions of the archipelago. It's expected to sweep across Mindanao and the Palawan Islands before heading across the South China Sea to Vietnam on Saturday.
And Cherry Regalado joins us live from Manila. Cherry, the Philippines no stranger to mega storms, but how bad is Rai expected to be?
Typhoon Rai has already made four landfalls this afternoon. Now, the State Weather Bureau says that it is normal and that it may take another multiple landfalls in the next coming hours. So far, there are reports of floods reaching roof levels, barges being pushed to the shore, homes made of light materials being toppled, landslides, power outages in large areas, and roads and highways already impassable due to flooding. Now, we can expect more of these as the State Weather Bureau has placed more areas under tropical signal number 4. The Weather Bureau has also warned that Typhoon Rai will continue to heavily damage crops and old homes or those made of light materials due to the torrential rains and destructive typhoon force winds. Now, there's another alarming point regarding Typhoon Rai, and it's that it will badly hit areas with already high poverty incidents. An estimate by reliefweb.net, that's a website under the United Nations Humanitarian Affairs, said that Typhoon Rai's path will affect some 16 million population, of which some 3.8 million population are already living below the poverty line. Now, the wrath of Typhoon Rai could push these families deeper into poverty.
Cherry, you are outlining essentially very short-term effects as well as longer, medium-term types of effects. How have authorities prepared to meet all these different impacts from the storm?
Well, both the national and local government units have been preparing for Typhoon Rai. Even before the typhoon entered the country, for example, the COVID-19 task force had already postponed the national vaccination, originally set for December 15 to 17 in areas that are to be affected by the typhoon. Now, the Office of Civil Defense had already activated its highest emergency and response level and had issued warnings to local government days before. It also raised the red status alert to all local disaster offices for 24/7 monitoring and immediate disaster response. Now, the Office of Civil Defense have already assured the public that there are enough available deployable assets and resources for rescue, search, and retrieval, including emergency telecommunication and food packs for affected families. Now, the Social Welfare Department had already allocated some 331 million pesos for food and non-food supplies for the affected families. Local governments have been conducting preemptive evacuation of residents in high-risk areas, with some even now implementing forced evacuation to ensure zero casualties.
Thanks so much for all that, Chair Regalado, speaking to us there from Manila.